while ago, I was approached by a company called AXIL Hearing Protection. They wanted to send me a product called the Ghost Striker Extreme. The product features Bluetooth connectivity to your phone and also provides noise cancellation to a safe level for shooting at the range. It's recommended that this be used for outdoor shooting and not indoor shooting. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go on. So I said, go ahead and send it to me. Looks like it's got some good specifications and provides hearing protection, which is really important to me, but the proof's going to be in the pudding. I'm going to take it with me to the range, and we're going to put it through its paces with a rifle and a handgun, and not only use it over time, that's going to be one of the tests, but immediately does it do what it reports to do, which is protect hearing. Let's talk about that. My wife likes to remind me that I have really loud hobbies. And you might too. And where I can't really wear earbuds to protect me from turning my guitar up too loud, at the range where you have some very piercing and potentially damaging types of decibel exposure, you need to have that protection. And you need to have it not only from your firearm, but the firearms of people around you. So today I picked what I consider to be a fairly good test for these earbuds. And what I did was shot at a covered outdoor range. So even though we're outdoors, it still has a roof overhead that's going to reflect a lot of the sound back down like an indoor range, as opposed to like a great wide open outdoors where you shoot the gun and it just dissipates. I don't know how many of you wear hearing protection when you hunt, but when I hunt in Montana and shoot my rifle, I practically don't hear it. I have, though, gone to the range and worn these types of ear plugs. They're effective, but there's been a few times where that wasn't properly seated, and on the way home, I had a ringing in one or two of my ears. I don't know how many of you have had that experience. So I picked what I call a tweener situation today, covered outdoor shooting, and I picked a couple firearms, as you'll see, that aren't known for necessarily being quiet. Between the two of them, shot somewhere in the neighborhood of 180 rounds for this test, used the AXIL hearing buds the whole time, and was aware that a gun was being shot. There was no doubt about it, but it wasn't in a way that was piercing or damaging to my hearing. One thing I've noticed is that at my age, being 57 years old, a lot of my colleagues, guys around my age, are headphone guys. We just grew up listening to headphones and didn't know what an earbud was for most of our lives. So I think that's one particular hurdle that a product like this is going to have for guys my age. And according to the demographics of YouTube, many of you that are watching this. But there's a bunch of you watching this that are of the age where the idea of sticking an earbud in your ear isn't a foreign concept. So keep that in mind when you make a decision. A, is this product for you? And B, if you decide it is for you, give yourself some time to get used to putting these on and taking these off, because it is different. Best way I've found to put these on, you can have your cord here in front of you. The best way I found is to drape them over your back, and then to take this bud here and like literally stick it in your ear. Push it in there real good with your thumb, and then loop it around the back. This stays in place. It's a pliable type of wire. And that makes it a lot easier to put this on. So right now, it's not turned on, and my hearing is greatly impeded by putting these in. And again, I'm going to say properly. And I do want to point out that once I put these in at the range today for the shooting videos, I didn't have to push them in or adjust them or play with them at all. You don't turn on the ambient hearing until you have these put on. Otherwise, you might get a feedback. And that's one of the most common complaints is guys will turn this on and then they'll put them in their ear and they complain about getting a buzzing or a hissing sound. So this is real easy. You just simply find your on and off button, and now I can hear myself speak fairly well. Another mistake that will cause these to seem like they're malfunctioning is to turn this volume all the way up. Typically, you don't need it. You need to be able to hear yourself talk, and you need to be able to talk to people around you. Now that I have them on, though, I can take my hat off and on. I can take my glasses on and off. It's just a really easy scenario, and I really appreciate that. It's such a nice break from having to fool around with the big, heavy type of headset. You're also going to notice how easy it is for me to achieve the kind of cheek weld I want to get. I don't have to crane my neck or make any kind of uncomfortable adjustment to be protected and have a good cheek weld. In the scenarios in which you see me shooting, these more than did the job in terms of protecting my hearing, and that's the important part. They also have the ability to provide you with Bluetooth. Now, I would recommend if you're someplace where you're at a range, for example, and the range safety officer wants to give you instructions, call the line safe, whatever the case may be. Blasting music in your ears probably isn't the best idea. But if you're out on your own, or like I said, using these in a non-shooting situation, you're mowing the yard, you want to listen to the ball game, things like that, problem solved. So these fit nicely in this little carrying case here, and you also see it has a USB charger, so you can charge them just about anywhere, your car, off your computer, or whatnot. But these, easy to put in this little carrying case, and they hold the battery charge for quite a while. I had them on continually for about 2.5 hours today. I'd recommend these to anybody who's willing to follow the directions and has the right expectations for them. In most of the shooting scenarios that I'm going to be involved with, these work great. But indoor shooting, which I'm going to primarily do in the wintertime, I'm probably going to want to have some additional hearing protection. Either wear headphones or wear headphones in addition to these. But that's just knowing how to use them properly. But if you look around, this is summertime, and I can shoot outdoors and enjoy using a lighter, easier to maneuver, easier to cheek weld type of scenario. And for that reason, in my experience so far, I strongly recommend you try the AXIL Ghost Striker Extremes. I'll provide a link where you can get a discount up to 65% and pick these guys up for about $130 for one pair. If you're getting a pair for your wife or your son or daughter or whatever, you get further breaks beyond that. Hope you enjoy. Now, AXIL really stands behind their product. They have a 3-year replacement guarantee, a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. In addition to that, they'll do an exchange after that up to a year. The AXIL Ghost Striker Extreme. Check it out. And thanks for watching Gun News and Reviews.